Evolution is very important. With time, people, industries, countries have to evolve.
India has always produced great science. I think what India has not necessarily done is produced great commercialization.
We are a group of researchers who does science for society.
So we don't just stop at making tools for our own lab and research purposes. We also work on translating them to industry.
So you need to start working with the ecosystem.
Working with industry is extremely important for taking these technologies to the common man. To create this ecosystem, the government has to be supportive, the industry has to be willing to participate, academia has to be willing to talk to both. We are here to provide our time and expertise to help them achieve much greater heights in their own business.
So the idea is to understand what are their pain points, and that helps them be competitive in the market, and it helps us because that sort of on-the-ground process, going there, working with their systems and figuring out how to do things. And I think interesting things will only happen when academia and industry work together.
The business that we are in, when you look at the manufacturing of the silicon, the fab, the wafer, it's hugely capex-oriented business. It's intense. You're looking at a $6 to $7 billion of investment to get one fab going.
Not everybody can build all the R&D infrastructure on their own. It's very expensive. These are very, very specific equipment. So it requires a lot of money, it requires a lot of technology, it requires a lot of infrastructure, it requires a lot of planning. Colleges like IISc have invested in this. It takes many years to do this. They have planned and executed, and now they have an infrastructure which is worthy. It's world-class. It's worthy of industries to engage in.
See, you can't develop everything by yourself. You have to use what is already done by somebody else. And when it's available readily in this setup, why not we use it?
Now, this is something very unique because there are very few facilities that can actually cater to industrial scale research.
You come to us with an idea, we'll tell you how to take that idea and create a product.
So they come up with problems, we work with them to solve the problems. We have student exchanges where some of our students work on specific problems that they have defined.
IISc has a huge strength on the process know-how. Okay, how does the chemistry works? How does the physics gets implied in the development of materials? While if we have to repeat that performance, there comes the automation and the control systems in place, right?
They understand our problems, they understand our processes, and they actually have something more than we actually have, which we can go and leverage. And so we go back to CeNSE and say, guys, let's work together to actually make things much better, much faster, and innovate new things with what they have and with our own capabilities.
What kind of work should happen at R&D center? What kind of work should happen in their R&D center? And where we will converge, where we will meet together, and how we will co-develop.
It's been an outstanding partnership, one that we have thoroughly enjoyed, and one that's built on the entire spirit of collaboration, networking, exchanging ideas, understanding from an academic point of view to say where research is going, what are the next frontiers of innovation that we can all go and deep into. Understanding from industry side to say what are the problems we are looking at solving.
So any association with this facility gives you multiple advantages, not limited to only using their facility for your work. At the same time, it also gives you insights about the newer technology that is being developed by them.
We had a problem and we didn't know how to fix, or we had no solution to that problem when we went to CeNSE and they said, hey, this is what you guys do, and the problem went away. It took us 6 months to develop that process. They actually make products in CeNSE. What you see is what is in the market. What you don't see is how long it actually took for them to develop that product.
And all of it is done here. We start with the wafer, we make the design, we fabricate devices, we test them, we package them. And we package them and give it to them and say, go ahead and test it in your facility.
And most academic institutions don't have all of that. And I think CeNSE is, in that sense, a very unique organization.
We can actually develop the technology. And there is enough academia, enough knowledge-based people here who are capable to develop it. So if you are able to give a requirement, say that this is it, I'm sure that they can realize and give you the technology. It's just a matter of how happen. But it's a hard road. It takes a little hard, this one, but it is something that is worth it.
They have allowed startups to come in. We develop some of our processes on MEMS, okay, which will in turn be used to development of the sensors. So without CeNSE, we don't exist. What makes it very unique? And especially, I think probably CeNSE is the only facility in India where you have the fabrication and packaging on the same setup, okay, the same place.
And therefore, anybody in India, they are welcome to approach us. We have mechanisms set up, and they can come and exploit our facilities for their nanoscience and technology needs.
It's a sort of a full circle between our collaboration with CeNSE, using their facilities, Pratt Whitney funded projects at the various departments, their students coming and interning here, they using the facilities. Right now we are so heavily dependent on that facility. I told you, even if the students of the institute, they may take a break and go, but we need that facility, each and every equipment that we use running, up and running. I think this is a perfect model of working between industry and academia in an absolute synergistic manner.
CeNSE is actually helping create an ecosystem of semiconductor technology, an ecosystem that can actually deliver a full semiconductor technology from start to finish. We actually have created a cadre of facility staff and students who are completely fab ready, who can actually be taken today and put in a fab anywhere in the world. And they would be able to run the equipment, they would understand the process, they would understand the utilities, and they will be productive. This type of ecosystem just did not exist in India 10 to 15 years ago. We are getting into deeper and deeper partnerships with industries to train their people, to develop new technologies, to jointly develop products.
Once we onboard freshers and new college graduates, we can assess where the areas of gaps are, and then we tailor programs.
One important aspect of that is taking them to the Indian Institute of Science CeNSE labs, exposing them to that infrastructure, getting them in touch with the problems that we are looking at solving, giving them an opportunity to interact with the professors, students.
So we pick certain areas and then we conduct those classes and specific training so that that training is useful for these people in their day-to-day job.
And that exposure that Indian Institute of Science, the CeNSE lab gives us, is something which is great for an engineer to feel firsthand, to experience what it looks like, and look at various processes, how they are run.
That's why I think CeNSE is actually a very good bridge. They are much more closer to the industry, and they understand industry a lot more. It's, I would say, a halfway home between industry and pure academia.